What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 6 of the Pew Pew
Podcast.
This episode, nope, we're still gonna sit there and recognize how beautiful that is in the intro. That's gonna be
every time.
It's so sultry.
You can't not recognize something that's just so perfect.
So perfect, so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, today you're finally getting a split podcast, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. We're going to talk about Escape from Tarkov, and we're going to talk about Ice.
A little bit of Destiny.
Oh, my Lanta!
Hey!
Escape from Tarkov,
Pew, pew, pew.
Beyond Light. That's there you go.
I like
That's what we're
that.
going to talk about.
I like that a lot.
I am joined once again today by the man, the myth, the legend, Iceman.
What
Ice,
up, friends?
I'm just thinking about 12-8 and Tarkovsky, how it's been fun for the last week and a half-ish. I think that's about how long we've had it, yeah?
Yeah. It's been fun. It's been fun, but just nothing new to do.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue. And I'm starting off with a negative. I'm really genuinely appreciating all of the quality of life stuff that they've added. They've also had 12.8.16 million and 2 or something. They already hot fixed a couple of things that were big issues in the game.
Yep.
There's a new the fast backpack drop that I don't think were in the previous patch notes. You can double tap Z now by default if you didn't know, and you can fast drop your backpack. So when you're in the middle of a fight, if you got a big chunky backpack on, you just throw that guy on the ground. Used to rip your eardrums out. They reduced it by 30%. It feels a little bit higher than that now, but it's more manageable. But also you can hear when people do that, so that's awesome.
I feel like they should have reduced that by 130%. 130. It was so loud. It still is. It still scares the hell out of me when I use it.
That's true. I'm just waiting. It has not happened yet, but I'm waiting for the time that we're in a fight and we hear someone do that. And we're
right?
Like, oh, and then you like bait him away, and then one of us goes and eats his backpack and just leaves.
Yep. Or I'm just like, oh, this man's going for it right now. This guy, he wants the PvP. Okay.
You let him.
That's kind of like a gentleman's duel type thing. You drop your backpack on the ground and then like you count the 3 and then start fighting each other.
There you go. I like it. We should start that. Just start dropping a backpack in front of people on the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
For every engagement.
Yell friendly fire and then go at it.
Friendly fire. What the hell are you shooting for? Damn it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, can we make that a thing in Tarkov, please? Community?
I mean, I'm down to. I'm gonna try starting right now. You know.
Perfect.
Start doing it ourselves.
Perfect.
Trendsetters. Hashtag trendsetters for Escape from Tarkov Beyond Light. Other than that, lots of, like I said, really awesome quality of life changes. The game itself feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty darn smooth. The new shotgun is absolutely insane. I got head eyes by it today and I was a little salty, but other than that, it's a lot of fun. The flashbang rounds are hilarious, and some people think they're overpowered. I think they're perfect. I mean, you have to bring a gun. You have to get an ammo type that's super hard to get. Not super expensive, but like everyone buys it from Prapper right away, so it just sells out all the time. And in engagements, it's so fun to watch people use that.
You got to put yourself in a pretty precarious position to even make use of it. Like, you have to be really close to the person and be at a pretty decent angle to be able to get a shot off on them.
But the benefit of that is if you manage to get the shot off, they're probably going to shoot you. But if you get your shot off, they are full on blind.
Yeah.
I think the day it came out, there was Landmark and a couple other people just flashbanging people on labs and taking a sword to their head because it's a full-blown flashbang and it's instantaneous and you have no way of dodging it. And it's hilarious.
Yep. A lot of people start running, from what I've seen this 3 times now, on dead bodies of people that hadn't been looted yet. It was 2 shotguns loaded with Star Shrapnel. Is that or Barricade? Mm-hmm. What's the crazy high damage one?
I think, shoot, I don't remember which one's which. One of them's crazy high damage. One of them shoots up to 25 meters and still has crazy high damage.
Okay. Yeah, it's like Star damage, or like Star damage, but they have 2 shotguns loaded with it. So they shoot their shots off with one and then they don't have to reload. They swap to the other and they just keep going. And it's just like,
it's so good, actually.
It's so troll, but so effective at the same time. It's kind of crazy.
I'm for it. I mean, I feel like a lot of Tarkov this wipe, I feel like personally I see a lot less of the DMR style rifles, and I'm seeing a lot more of like the fully automatic SMGs and MPXs and MP5s being run, which means people are typically holding W at you a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's just, it's a hard counter, and I'm for it.
Yeah, the advent of 7-3-1, I think, put a lot of SMGs on the map. Whereas SMGs were okay before, APSX SMGs especially, but 7-3-1 just put like a couple classes of weapons that were typically not being used at like the forefront of being used. MPX being one of them.
I was gonna say, I literally don't think I saw an MPX last wipe other than on a raider or somebody being a troll.
Right. Well, you could still do it, make it like the M4 MPX and like the really long barrel, have some 6.3 in it, AP63, and then make it work. But now you don't even have to really make it work. You just shoot and you kill things. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, Greg made a great point the other night. It's literally the new VSS or Val, but it has a 50-round mag instead.
Yeah, and its range is like triple.
Insane. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It is. I don't know. I'm okay with it. It's been a lot of fun. It's so expensive to run the gun that I don't really mind if people are running it, because you know what? They just dropped like 200k worth of ammo just to drop you, so
yeah.
Good luck making that back.
Yeah, exactly.
That, and yeah, you mentioned it, the range though. There's some people were like sniping with the 7-31 round, and I was just blown away with it. But because like I said to you, I think it was last night, I was like, I shot a 6.3 round out of the back of school at you in the back of school sniper tower on reserve. And I shot the top of the sniper tower just to scare you, and you said it hit below the window, and I was like, holy crap, that's only like 110 meters. That thing dropped like crazy. 7-3-1's just like you're shooting an M4 or a 5.56.
It's basically like a hit scan bullet at that point. It travels fast and it does not drop very much. It's such a good round.
It's a phenomenal round.
Have you used your compass yet?
I did the very day it came out, just to look at it and spin around in circles and laugh and then put it away and never pull it out again.
Yeah, I like it. I love the concept of it for new players. It's such a good thing.
Yes.
But in a firefight, usually if you have the compass always on your screen, like in Fortnite or Warzone or just any other BR, pretty much, where it's always at the top of your screen, you can call out immediately in a fight. It's just there and it becomes the reaction. In this, you have to like actually go through the mental process of hitting the Z button or whatever you have it bound to, waiting for it to come out, checking it, putting it back. If you're in a firefight and like you're hiding and your teammates also need to do that same thing, like it takes a lot of time. It's a good like 10 seconds of time to really make a call. But I guess for newer players that don't really know a map well, they could do that. They could like see someone, get back in the cover, be like, hey, take out your compass, he's here, and then like you kind of have an idea from there. But
for sure.
But if you know the call out, it's immediate.
Yeah, no, there you go. That's the difference in, you come back to what's the skill gap in Tarkov. It's not aiming, it's not shooting. It's literally just knowledge of the maps and knowledge of the game.
Right.
If we would have had that when we started off, we would have loved it. We would have thought it was an essential part of the game. I do want to hit a really quick hard rewind, because I know you're just spitballing off the top of your head. Did you bind it to Z?
I did.
What do you lay down with?
Control. Yeah, I've never been a control gamer in FPS.
I thought we were friends. Oh my god.
I have small hands.
And I have smaller hands.
I could never like shift my hand down far enough comfortably to like hit control for crouch. So I have it on shift. Shift has always been crouch.
What's your walk?
In
CS. I'm back in CS now, yeah.
In Counter-Strike, I walk toggled. And I always had it on F. Which was
You're blowing my mind right now. Yeah, my mind is blown right now, dude.
Yep, I walked toggled and it was on F. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. I thought I was going to catch you up in like a slip up or something, but no, you're just full on. I insured this bird cut earlier and now I have it back. Okay, got it.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, moving on. By default, just so you guys know, U is your compass bind by default. And I guess if you quote unquote have small hands, tell you what, I definitely have smaller hands. You can rebind it to Z. To each their own. I think one of the other things that made me chuckle, at least, I don't know if it's necessarily amazing or anything, but the new voice lines for the scav bosses are awesome. I'm sad that Killa didn't get one.
Yeah, I wish Killa would have just screamed at me. Like, I was just hoping for like a straight up horrifying blood curdling scream to come out of him.
I need Killa to be just the drunk as a skunk Russian, just slurring words at you.
Or
What do
that.
you mean?
Or that.
He hauls ass everywhere.
Yeah.
He's always sliding around.
Yeah.
Like just
the
like,
man's insane.
just like deep ass voice and just like I don't know. But so Killa's the only scav boss that doesn't have the new voice actor voiceover, but the rest of them do it. It's made me chuckle a couple of times. I don't think Glucose's voice fits him, but at least now you know you're fighting the scav boss, which I think is a really fun indicator for people.
Yep.
I don't think it makes a big difference to veterans if people are complaining. I mean, you know where the scav boss is spawning anyway. Why not, let people know what's going on a little bit easier, I guess. One thing I didn't like, and it's just because I like holding W, and it's a preference, and I understand that, the huge nerf to the painkillers. They essentially cut in half the amount of time that painkillers lasted for every single painkiller. That includes Vaseline, Gold Star, ibuprofen, all that stuff. And then also there's a big hit to your energy. I kind of understand everyone was constantly pre-painting. Supposedly they're adding something along the lines of
addiction.
Thank you, addiction to the game eventually. I guess if they're going that direction, fine. I've just found it kind of annoying. I've adjusted to it already. I'm not pained up nearly as often. It has got me killed quite a few times because someone shoots you in the leg and you're just not moving anymore. But it's a preference, I guess.
Yeah, you work on your stress resistance skill a lot more than you did before.
Go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Bright sides.
I think you're talking about that, and I'm still only at like 7.5. I'm not even at 8 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not even at 9, dude. It's rough. It's tough.
We were just constantly pained up, just holding W at people. The couple new skills that were added that were definitely not in the previous patch. There's a crafting skill and a hideout management skill. I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100%. I'm assuming just using your hideout is how you level up both of those.
I think so.
Crafting skill as well.
I think so.
But the hideout leveling gives you better return on investment for like your air filters and your
That one's
fuel.
so good.
It's so nice. It's like I have actually been like, I stopped making moonshine for a while there. I stopped doing scav runs. I stopped crafting things. Like I stopped using my hideout because I had so much money it didn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm using it again, and it's fun because now I'm like, oh shit, I kind of want to go to interchange on a scav and see if I can find a couple air filters laying around water filters.
You know what? I just decided to look it up on the Tarkov wiki to see if like how to level it and what the elite effects were. They're up there. Okay. I didn't expect them to be here since it's so new, but they're up there. All right. The elite effects are decreases. Elite level. +2 slots for fuel canisters.
Ooh.
+2 for water filters. +2 for air filters. +2 for the storage limit of coins in a Bitcoin farm.
Oh snap!
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome,
yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And then crafting items in the hideout. 1 point per craft, 1 point per 10 resources spent on filters or fuel. Is how to raise it. And then upgrading modules of the hideout is +20 points per upgrade. So we're already past that point, but
yeah,
in the future, that'd be cool.
Yeah. That'll be really nice.
Yeah.
For sure. I like all of that. That's all wonderful. Speaking of things I like, that was also not in the previous patch notes. You can now right click on your magazine when it's in your character like inventory, and you can load the magazine with whatever ammo you have in your inventory just by right clicking on it. And it's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
When we talked about it a little bit, I was like, oh, well, you still got to go in and grab all your ammo out of your boxes. But I have, weird flex. Okay, I have my ammo case is inside of a thick case. And like, so that's 4 clicks just to get to your ammo. Right now, I can just do 2 clicks and then I can unload the ammo and then just reload. I love it. It's such a nice change. It's just the small quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful quality of life patch. It's not really much more than that, but you know what? They're probably very stressed out on resources and time and all that fun stuff, and they already had to push it. So kudos to you, BSG. I effing love it. I'm having a great time with Tarkov still, and we're quite deep into the wipe. Everyone's running endgame Chad gear all the time now, but I'm still having fun with it, and all the quality of life changes are pretty darn good.
Yep. You want to move on?
I'm thinking so. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to touch on. I mean, the new shotgun was pretty much it. Yeah, quality of life. Have I mentioned quality of life? But that's about it. But yeah, let's move on to the Beyond Light portion of the Pew Pew
podcast.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So not a lot of quality of life in this one. There's a lot of content. Big changes for those that have not been up to date with what's been going on in Destiny. There's a huge expansion coming out in November, November 10th to be specific. There's a lot of changes coming with that. There's past TWABs, other podcasts if you really want to catch up onto it. We're going to be on the TWAB that came out this week, specifically 1022 exactly. So this one, and the reason why we're really diving into it now, was around sandbox balancing. A lot of it pertains to PvP, and a lot of it pertains to things that we usually talk about in the podcast.
I mean, what do you mean? I'm a PvE gamer.
Yeah,
I talk about PvE all the time. Come on.
That's okay. All right, we don't want to just straight up lie to everyone's faces.
Okay.
So the big thing with this was the change to hand cannons that people have been asking for. Hand cannons in Destiny have always been kind of the sweat gun for higher tier players, quote unquote. They typically always have gone to hand cannons. I've always been a hand cannon player. I love precision weapons in any game. So hand cannons have always been my thing since Destiny 1, and it's persisted the whole time. And Destiny, hand cannons have been strong almost always. There's really never been a time when hand cannons haven't really been unusable. But there have been certain classes of hand cannons as of late that have really been unusable unless you build very specific around them. And that specifically was the 110 class of hand cannon, the aggressive frame class. You could have some huge montage clips come out of it. If you had Rampage as a perk on it, you could 2-tap people if you have 1 stack of Rampage up, but you have to get that first kill. To get that first kill to proc Rampage. Then it only lasts for a few seconds after that. So they are changing 110s to 120s, which is interesting. But this is what I was hoping when I've talked with other people, talked in other podcasts. I was hoping that 110s or whatever the low precision frame would be like pulse rifle range. It was something that could compete with pulse rifles, because there's never been a hand cannon type that could compete with pulse rifles or scout rifles. And this, I don't think it will be totally that, but it's good. It's a good start. The damage fall off,
huge step in the right direction.
The damage fall off is typically been around 23 to 25 meters. For 110s, the fall off will start at 32 meters, or 120s when they're changed will be at 32 meters, which is a lot in Destiny. That's huge. And that's when the fall off begins. So you probably have effective range of like 35 to 37 meters.
Oof, that's so nice. So I have a question for you real quick, because I vaguely remember this being talked about, and maybe I'm completely pulling this out of my behind, but didn't they talk about there was supposed to be a mod or something for Rampage that you could put on to make Rampage last longer?
Yeah.
Was that?
Yep. That was
that the thing?
Yep. It's called Rampage Spec. It's from the Forges. Black Armory.
That's why I don't know it.
Yep.
Because we're talking about 110s. 110s have been my favorite hand cannons to use just because of that 2-tap potential, because 2-tapping someone in Destiny is like one of the best feelings I've ever had in a game. It's almost back to 1-digging someone.
Yeah.
1-digging, hands down, best feeling in the game.
Yeah.
And 2-tapping with 110s was super fun, but it was just super not worth running because it just didn't compete with pretty much anything else.
Yep. So that was an Ada package. You essentially rolled the mod components from Ada 1, and that was one of them within. I would definitely, if you... I'm pretty sure I have not seen any news about those not persisting, even though forges and stuff are going to be gone and vaulted. I still think those mods are going to persist. And there might be other ways to acquire them after the there would have to be.
I would assume, yeah.
But I would definitely consider trying to get them because they are extremely good. Dragonfly spec and Rampage spec are two of the best ones that you can get from her. But anyway, so the 110s are changing to 120s. The damage fall off will start at 32 meters, which is insane. Adaptive and precision frames. The range stat now has more impact on minimum damage fall off range for both archetypes. So essentially, damage fall off is going to start at 25 meters. It was 20 meters. That's pretty much what it used to be, and that's really, really good. I like that. That's a good number. That's when they felt strong and they felt very usable and you could compete with them. Those are very good. Precision hand cannons, the 180 rate of fire. They're basically scaling up the magazines by 37%, and it also affects exotics like malfeasance. So malfeasance may see it already had a large mag. It had like 12 shots, 13 shots, I think. 37% increase on that will probably give it 15 or 16. It's already strong in Gambit and PvE against Taken.
Yeah.
I could foresee that change, making that weapon very, very strong in PvE, but we'll have to see. Lightweight. So this is where all the super sweats come in.
The meat and potatoes.
This is it. So the 150s. The sweat community is real mad about this one. Everyone has used the 150. Spare rations, dire promise. 150s have kind of been the bread and butter of the high level PvP community. They are eliminating 150s except for one thing, which I'll mention, and they're bringing them all to 140s. I like this personally. It's less balancing for Bungie. It's 140s didn't feel that different from 150s. People are complaining about different like recoil patterns and firing tempos. It'll take you like 2 days to get used to it. You'll be fine.
Minimal. It was just like I used what was the one from Menagerie that was pretty good.
Ostringer.
I used an Ostringer and I was like, I got a really good roll on one and I liked it, and then I just kept dying to a spare ration. I'm like, why am I losing this heads up? And I looked and I was like, oh, this is a 140. Yep. I didn't even realize.
Yep. Yeah. So I like the change. Less balancing. 140s are still strong. It includes Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten. I wish personally, this is a personal thing and I think it would work really well. I wish they would take Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten, make them exotic, bring them back to a 180, what they used to be, but keep the Luna's Howl perk like it is now. There's no 2-tap potential like there used to be. Sure. I think that'd be really cool. They were so strong as a 180, so strong, best guns in the game by far.
I will say,
but if you had to sacrifice an exotic slot for it, then it'd make you consider using them, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I don't have a lot of opinions on a lot of things in Destiny because I play PvP pretty casually. I enjoy the heck out of it. But the Not Forgotten and Lunas, going from, so they used to be, if you didn't catch that, and you probably already know, but they used to be a 180 hand cannon. They're dropped down to a 150 now. They didn't adjust the recoil, and it just, like the recoil visually, and it just feels weird.
I like it.
Like it's a quick little, but I feel like something with me doesn't register that it's a 150 instead of a 180 because like of how fast it resets, but it's all personal preference.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. Exotic, sure. You throw away an exotic slot to go back to a 180. That gun would be super fun to use. Get the range buff out of it, land your couple of shots, you know, proc that perk. I'm all for that idea. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of exotics in that slot,
Is it beautiful?
It's very beautiful. It
does
does solar damage. It does make things explode. It's Sunshot. Sunshot will remain. I don't know why they did this. I don't know. It will remain as a 150.
That's really curious. Why did they leave one single hand cannon, which is it's already a very, very strong hand cannon in slot by itself.
It's so strong.
But then they buffed it up to 150. We're gonna see nothing but Ace of Spades versus Sunshot.
I think so. I honestly think so.
Which is fine. I like primary. It's fun.
Being able to use Ace of Spades again. Ace when it got neutered made me so sad, and it's gonna be back to what it used to be. And I can't wait.
It's gonna be so nice. I mean, I haven't used Ace for a long time, and then what was it, Friday? You did your community games. I pulled it out, and everyone had just read the TWAB, and they were all like, holy crap, all these changes were coming. So people weren't using all the 150s and all the meta weapons. They were trying out different things. I used an Ace and got a Wii ran with it. I know, weird flex, but like I haven't used that gun in forever, and you also couldn't use it for a long time.
It's good.
Oh, it's so exciting that it's coming back.
It's good. So I think Sunshot will be an extremely strong weapon. It has intrinsically, it has explosive rounds, which explosive rounds give insane flinch. It's very, very hard to snipe against someone using explosive rounds. True. And the thing that I'm really nervous about is explosive rounds don't have damage fall off on the explosion. So it will be an extremely deadly weapon at very far ranges. It already is.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they. Oh no.
And the explosions, when you have and on top of the range, the range increase, the explosions are extremely deadly with the catalyst done. The catalyst is almost necessary to make the gun very, very good. It ups the range significantly and the stability. It's just, if you're going to want to use that weapon, definitely get the catalyst done. It's a slow trudge to the catalyst, but it's 100% worth it.
Mr. Iceman, where does one get that catalyst?
I knew you were gonna ask me that. I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't remember.
Well, let me look it up real quick.
They changed the way to get it. It used to be from faction rallies, but it is not anymore, and I don't remember. It might be a random drop. I'm not positive. But yeah, look it up. Look it up. Let us know. Let's move on while we do that to the other changes. Auto rifles, the 600 archetype, the summoners, gnawing hungers, the things that go brrr. They were way too strong. You didn't have to hit headshots really to make a extremely low TTK. So they are adjusting the damage per bullet from 15.75 to 14.25. When the guns were pretty strong, but they needed a little bit of love, was back in Season of the Worthy when the damage was 13.75. So it is it's a decent increase from what it used to be, but it's a significant decrease from what it is now. I think 14.25 is going to be a pretty good spot for him.
I like how they're finding the balance, because it feels like in D2 PvP, and I understand I'm coming from a place where I haven't played the game a lot, but I feel like it's been a pendulum for the last couple of seasons. It's just like one thing's going to be huge in like season 1 of D2, right, where the pulse rifles were meta, and then it swung the opposite way where I think it was hand cannons, and then it swung back, and like these little micro changes are awesome. I'm like, really happy that Bungie. Quick side note, the catalyst for the Sunshot is a random drop from Strikes and Crucible in Season of the Obvious.
Okay, so I thought.
Just play the game and get your catalyst and get it done.
Yeah, get it done. The hardest part's getting it done, but the Whisper mission is still up. Going into the lower area in the green room and just letting those Thrall run at you is one of the best ways to do it. That will be going away in November. So if you want to get this done, go down there, do it.
Time's a ticking.
Yes. It's worth it. It makes the gun usable. Okay, so sniper rifles and scout rifles got similar adjustments to them. They are adjusting their aim assist cones. They're widening them for scout rifles and high zoom snipers. Low zoom snipers will have their cones reduced. So basically low zoom snipers will have less aim assist. High zooms will have a small increase, which is cool because high zooms, your field of view is pretty well gone. You have to be looking at what you're shooting. Lows, you could basically just hold a lane and see a lot of things and then just flick snipe. With high aim assist on that, it made those snipes very, very easy, or you would hit things that you couldn't believe you hit.
Yep.
And that also plays into high FPS with a faster movement, makes the bullet magnetism skyrocket. So when you flick, if you're very good at flicking, if you click anywhere near their head in the flick, the aim assist will like be quadrupled, and it will just it will magnetize the bullet to their head. Yep. So kind of wild, but they're trying to account for that as much as possible. Scout rifles, I think they're widening the cone to make them more usable in like the close mid-range fights where hitting shots at those ranges was almost impossible. So they're trying to make scout rifles, I think, a little bit more usable in general in PvP. They're still very strong at range, which they should be, but in like the close mid, they were unusable. So now it's a little bit better. Rocket launchers, they are just giving them more reserves, which we'll see. I wish they would.
Champ.
I wish they would give 2 rockets per shot to make it more usable in PvE, but I don't know.
I was waiting for you to like take a breath there, because I was just gonna jump in with like, and the biggest change of everything, rocket launchers now have more reserves.
Yeah.
So now we're definitely gonna see more of that weapon type used.
Yeah. They were so strong in PvE, dude. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. They might make other changes and bring in exotics that help rockets. I don't know.
Yeah, this is just what's coming in, with the expansion being released on November 10th. So obviously they're going to balance things accordingly.
Yep.
Yeah, you're getting to probably my favorite part of all these patch notes, so I'm going to shut up and let you talk.
So quick ones. Outlaw got increased, which is cool. Outlaw is better now, which is good. It used to be like the de facto best perk to get on a weapon, but it kind of fell off pretty hard, and now they're bringing it back a little bit. Merciless, they are increasing the inventory stat, so you have much more reserves. Merciless was extremely good in PvE. It fell off hard because of ammo economy. So I think they're trying to bring it back into the limelight a little bit as a burst DPS type weapon. Mountaintop. This is it.
Mountaintop.
This is it. Mr. Mountaintop is finally finally getting the adjustment that it needed. I never
Thank
understood
you.
why they buffed breach load grenade launchers, or knowing that mountaintop was a thing. Maybe they didn't even think about it, and then they said, "Oh shit," when they put it out.
Yeah, it just happened. It's just like, all right, well, let's let this ride, I guess.
But basically, the gun is not going to be able to one shot to like a direct hit one shot. Its splash damage is significantly reduced, so if you're 10 feet away from someone, you're still not going to do full damage. It's not going to be nearly as good of a weapon, which is fine with me. Like, it'll still be somewhat usable as a weapon to prime people in PvP. It won't be used in high level PvP because it's getting sunset. PvE, it won't matter because it's getting sunset, because it won't be the DPS weapon that it used to be. So yeah, I'm okay with it. It needed adjusting anyways, because it would still just run rampant in quick play and other playlists where light level doesn't matter all the time. So
I don't think there is a single person who actually enjoys playing any capacity of PvP in Destiny 2 that liked the mountaintop being where it was.
No.
Not a single person.
Nope.
I mean, people used it just because it was the easy weapon, or, you know, maybe they were working on, you know, there's some quests where you have to get grenade launcher kills. People used it because it was just too broken, but good riddance.
Yep.
The only thing you have to look out for is, what did we call it? The hilltop. It's gonna be a mountaintop with a scarf. It's gonna have a nice little scarf around it. Please no, Bungo.
Yep.
Please no. Please.
No, God no. So mountaintop's gone. Woohoo! Falling Guillotine. It is the de facto best close range DPS weapon, heavy weapon in the game right now. It's heavy attack damage to right click, which is basically its like prime source of damage, is being reduced by 24% to bring it in line with other swords. They said it will still be slightly above average, just not to the extent that it is now. So it will still be very strong, but it will not be able to basically one-shot champions in a Grandmaster, which is insane. The Mida multi-tool and mini-tool, the synergy perks are going to be intrinsic, and which is really, really cool. And on the mini tool, they're adding hipfire grip and kill clip to it, which is pretty cool. I thought people misinterpreted that as the multi tool having that. This is the mini tool.
Yeah.
This is the SMG.
Could you imagine the multi tool with kill clip?
It'd be horrible. I mean, honestly, multi tool is very good as it is. That would make it like very usable in PvP.
It's true.
So I don't know. Might even be a good idea to put it on that, but I don't know. Okay. Sturm and Drang together forever. Intrinsic perk. They're being put together. They're having accurized rounds and moving target added to Drang. Drang's already extremely strong on console. So having that added with accurized rounds and moving target would be interesting. The Ruinous Effigy is basically getting a bit of a nerf. I haven't seen it used that much, but I heard it's very, very strong. So the aerial melee attack, they're reducing by 25% and significantly reduce the damage of the drain effect on enemy combatants when that big bubble comes up. Arbalest, I was really hoping that they were going to nerf the hell out of this gun. This aim assist value needs to be brought way down. But the only thing that they're doing to it is no longer strike shields multiple times, but its efficacy against shielded targets has been increased. So okay, PvE nerf, or adjustment, I should say, maybe not a nerf, but it really needs the same assist value brought down.
Is Arbalest like way more of an issue on console, I would assume?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, on a controller, it's wild good.
Yeah, and I see it every once in a while in PvP on PC, but like I've never thought to myself, wow, heck you, Arbalest.
Yep. Yeah, there's one player I play against all the time in high level PvP. His name is Perceive Me, in all caps. He has always used off meta weapons, especially fusion rifles. He's extremely good with them. And Arbalest is one. The last time I played against him a couple weeks ago, he was Arbalesting, and the dude was insane. If you're good and you understand how the weapon works and how its charge time functions, you don't miss. If you get someone out in the open, you do not miss. It's insane.
Well, that's kind of the same with like a lot of fusion rifles, because I know a lot of people they hate on fusion rifles, but it's just like I feel like you don't really see that many fusion rifles being used compared to like shotguns and sniper rifles and stuff. So you have to learn how to use them, and at that point, is it really that big of an issue?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like personally, fusion rifles have a much higher learning curve and skill ceiling to them. because you need to understand charge times and how to peek around those charge times.
Yep.
But when you get really good with them, that's when people get pissed off because there's pretty much no way to counter it.
True.
Other than staying at a long range with snipers, dodging on a hunter, all those kind of like baiting a shot, like shoulder peeking around the corner to bait. But if you're playing against the top tier player, my buddy Zen, he's unreal good with it. He's insanely good. So it's really, people get mad because they don't know how to play around his play style. And if you get,
but I say good on him. Like, he figured out how to he's found his off meta weapon that he just mastered, and now he's dumping on you with it.
And then he started using top tree Dawnblade, and he can float and do that. He's literally an AC 130.
That's true. I remember watching that trials with you guys.
Yeah. And no one knows how to play against that. You see red on the radar, you don't expect him to be 10 miles in the air dropping fusion bolts down on you. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so Jade Rabbit was the last adjustments. Armor piercing rounds swapped to high cal rounds, which will be cool in PvP. Jade Rabbit was always strong in D1. It really fell off in D2. And that basically fixed the issue where it could prevent the exotic perk from triggering, where if you hit body shots, your next headshot would be increased damage by the amount of body shots that you hit to a certain value.
I remember farming for Randy's, and the Jade was my go-to for sure.
It's
that
very
gun
good.
Just is nice.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, its sights on its, especially a couple of its ornaments are very, very clean. It's a very good weapon. So I don't know. High cal rounds won't be insane because high cal usually affects ammo or weapon types that shoot a lot of rounds. So if you're getting hit more and more, the high cal's procking a lot more. Jade Rabbit is very slow, but I think it's a good change.
Yeah, we're gonna see a mix-up of the sandbox. Holy Toledo!
Yeah,
I'm hyped.
Yep.
Let's go.
And then the last part, the other big part, was they're adding adept weapons, and I'm not gonna go too far into this. Basically, adept weapons come from Trials of Osiris. They come from getting a flawless run, which it used to. And adept weapons used to be very, very strong in D1. They have some unique perks and things like that. Basically in D2, what it's going to be starting out is masterworking an adept weapon grants additional stats. So you get plus 10 for the primary stat as usual, the specific masterwork of the weapon. Then you get plus 3 for all alternate stats. It's pretty cool. It's very, very strong. And then there's going to be unique mods, adept mods are going to be able to be added. And the mods typically increase base stats like range, stability, reload, that kind of thing. But there's going to be others that increase things significantly, but then there's going to be a downside. So adept mag, plus 40 mag, minus 20 handling.
I like that.
I think it would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty cool. I think it's a good start. If they can keep adding in adept things and just kind of like adding in things that make guns very, very strong because you're a good player within a certain activity. I like that. Maybe they do something on the PvE side of things for like Grandmasters and that kind of thing. So it's not only in PvP.
I love it. We talked about it a couple of times, just you and I personally. And that's, in my opinion, the way they need to go with things, because you know what? You should, if you're at the best of the best, you should have some amazing guns. And the one thing I will say about the Destiny community, from my experience, is it's freaking wonderful. I have never met so many people that are willing to run the same events over and over again to try and help me get one of these guns. So like, if you do manage to complete the hardest raid or the hardest GM Nightfall or whatever, or, you know, Trials of Osiris, I think that incentivizes people to continue to play the game at the high level. And it's super cool to get a really strong reward. And I mean, obviously I'm pretty biased because I love PvP. I'm all for, if I get high enough level, I'd love to run People to Lighthouse with you. Like, it's just super fun to do.
Yep.
So adding reasons to actually do that, short of like, this is a personal opinion of mine, I don't care about titles. I don't have any. That's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
Titles.
Yep.
I don't have any titles. You were picking on me the other day for it, and rightfully so. I have none. I'm not that type of gamer. But if there were like weapons, and part of our community, people wanted to get them, like helping people gain those from like the high level stuff, that's so much fun.
It is.
And then all of a sudden, boom, D2 has so much life in it for people who don't play it, like myself.
I'm just glad that a lot of the D2 community has gone from paid recov type things where you're paying an astronomical amount of money for some good player to run your stuff, to more of a free, we'll play with you and you earn your own thing model. Like there's still some recovs and stuff going on, but most of those are free as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know, people paying $1,700 for a Not Forgotten was a little extreme.
That's craziness. And I think the more that happens, and I will say it again, the D2 community, shout out to you guys. You seem like awesome community guys and girls, and like willingness to help. The more people are willing to help get other things, the less and less people are going to be paying for those recovs. I mean, always people are going to be doing that, and I understand that. The less people are paying for recovs, in my opinion, the less people are going to cheat to do recovs, or to get items like that for people.
Yep.
So like it's just all of a sudden we're helping each other have fun in a video game, and everyone's benefiting from it. So I can do it.
Yep. So that is pretty well it. There are a few other things in there, but those are the big pieces that I wanted to touch on with it. So
those are the big things.
We'll be covering more Destiny, especially as Beyond Light's about to come out, and after it comes out, we'll be covering a lot more. But we just kind of wanted to add in a little piece of that into the podcast.
Yeah, thanks guys for listening. Ice, thanks for the D2 run through. I read through. I told you before we started, I read through all the TWAB stuff, but you obviously know a lot more about the game, and I learned a lot tonight. I'm excited, even more so than I was before, about Beyond Light coming out. I'm excited to try out the game and have some fun with it.
Heck yeah.
But I guess chat, that's a force of habit. Viewers, YouTube, all you beautiful people. That's going to be the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening to us. Ice, where can we find you on the interwebs?
I am on Twitch, basically Iceman_1H, pretty much everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. Stream 4 to 5 days a week, usually starting around 1 Central. When Beyond Light comes out, that'll change significantly, especially as the raid's coming up. I'll be doing a lot more streaming. And yeah, and YouTube as well. Also have YouTube. Don't have my vanity link quite yet, but we'll be doing a lot more on YouTube very soon as well. So look forward to that.
I'm excited for it. Got more to watch on YouTube. Of course, all of those links are going to be down in the description down below. My name's TyrelosaurusFLEX. The old joke, good luck spelling it. I'm on Twitch, I'm on Twitter, I'm on the YouTube. Obviously, I'm on YouTube because that's where you're listening to this. Although, I am going to be uploading it to the new site that you sent me, Ice.
Podbean.
Podbean, there we go. So if you guys are on Podbean, check us out on all the other socials that are linked in the description. But guys, thanks for tuning in, listening, being a part of this, and I hope you have a great day.
Later, guys.